being married is a big boy. Well, it's a big boy thing. And we're gonna get into that in a little bit. It's a big boy thing, man. To be able to position yourself, one, to live in another country, that is big boy stuff. That means you got to be doing stuff in the U.S. to position yourself to be out of the country. Mm-hmm. So we'll get into that, but I want to start somewhere out with you, brother Drake. So I wanted to talk about the dynamics. So we got different dynamics on this panel. So you got to so my marriage dynamic is I am in the United States. I am back and forth between Colombia, basically a long distance marriage. You know what I mean? A long distance marriage. My wife is from the city of Cartagena, and like I said, and she speaks English. I speak Spanish, but her English is better than my Spanish. So that's kind of our dynamic. Brother Andre, his dynamic is he's in Colombia, his wife is in Colombia. His wife can speak English. Andre, he okay with the Spanish. Mm-hmm. Solo traveler, his dynamic is him and his wife is in the United States. His wife doesn't speak English, and his Spanish is trash. I'm just playing. So that's one dynamic. So we're gonna touch on dynamics. Ty, I don't know your dynamic. You're in Colombia with your wife.
Correct.
Like you said, she doesn't speak English, right?
Correct.
And you don't speak Spanish, right?
No, I speak. Amor, ¿qué es mi? ¿Cuál es la calidad de mi español? ¿Está bien? ¿Qué número?
Okay.
Flex on the brother.
He just went boom.
I'm not gonna say. You know, I can show you, bro. I can tell you, right?
All right. So his language dynamic is his language is stronger than his wife when it comes to the opposite language. And then Mr. Pro, for you, his wife speaks English. You're working on Spanish, and y'all both are in the Dominican Republic.
I'm not working on Spanish. I'm working on Dominican Spanish.
Yeah. Okay.
There's a difference. There's a difference.
Yeah.
Big difference.
So we got these different. So we got these different dynamics, and as I asked this question, you could kind of talk about your dynamic in particular. But I wanted to ask you, Brother Andre, because one thing I think I had mentioned when we talked offline was like personality, and one thing I learned about myself and why certain relationships for me didn't last in the United States, because I have a strong personality. I have a more of a controlling personality. So my personality type limits my options with women. Like I could recognize that my personality type limits myself with women, and some other personality types, they probably have more options because they may have a more complementary personality. So I want to kind of, you to kind of talk about what you think about personality difference and what makes your relationship with your wife work, opposed to maybe a different man that may have a different type of personality that may not work with your spouse.
My Andrea is kind of like she's in business management. She's accountant, corporate accountant down here. So she and she has a team under her. So Andrea's always been in control. Point. Even when she was 13, her nickname in junior high school before she graduated in junior high school before she graduated into high school was Mom. She was the one that for student council. She was the one that if the class acted up, Andrea would go. She said, I will go to my teacher and say, excuse us for what we did today. I'll have a talk with them before the next day of class. Those type of things. And so she gives me the freedom, my dynamic of wife gives me the freedom to trust her ability to make proper decisions for the family. So Andrea can come to me and say, I made you a doctor's appointment for this. I got this set up for you. I just got done picking up your prescription for this. We got appointments to go to the gym at so and so and so. And we got yoga coming up at about, do you want to do it at 2:00? You want to do it at 4:00? And so she gives me the peace to focus on the business side of our relationship, and also the don't forget to buy my wife flowers side, or don't forget to get my wife do something special for her side, because she gives me that ability. A lot of guys can get in relationships and you can't trust your wife to take care of certain things. And you find yourself still having to take care of certain business dynamics of the relationship. And for me, her personality works best for me. For other guys, Andrea's strong personality in the sense of not having to be controlled, it may not work for them. I know my wife is, being that Scorpio. Scorpios are hard on the outside, really soft on the inside. But in that dynamic, what I mean by that, once they fall for you, they give you the universe. The only thing is, if you mess it up, they will take the universe. They will take it. They do not play. They will give you everything, will spoil you, treat you like royalty. But if you mess up one hand, you can let it go, because you ain't gonna get nothing but the stinger from that day forward. and so her grandma, I can tell, being a Scorpio, her dad, I can tell, and so that's what's helped me out in regards to our dynamic. It was the trust factor of, I can not only her business side, I can trust her to always be a lady. When my wife walks out the door, she's always, for the most part, she's always dressed well. Even if she's going to the grocery store, even if she just got shorts and t-shirts on, my wife has an air of a ladylikeness about her that if any of you guys came across, hey, Andrea, you know that you're walking up to a lady and you're not, or somebody that's feminine, in other words, like many of our wives. And that's why my wife jailed so easily with your wife when you guys came down, Rob, because your wife has an air of feminineness, and you know, like attracts like, and it made it a lot easier for it gives me a lot of peace when my wife has that feminine side that I can trust as well. But also, she has that side of the ability to correct me and she doesn't feel like, let me hold back. Andre might get upset. She could just say what she needs to say because she trusts me. So she does have that side, because I don't need a yes wife. That's the last, a yes wife will lead you in the wrong direction. So when people think we get married, they only married to women because they submissive and they cook and have baby. Like, wait a minute, I do not have a yes wife. And I've seen these guys' wives, and they do not seem like yes women. So you want your wife to have those abilities. So that's the dynamic that those three areas are the benefits that Andre gives me in regards to the dynamics of our relationship. And I don't think every man can handle that.
Man, I want to pass it to Brother Todd, man, in this one. Then we go to you, Solo Traveler, and then you, Mr. Pro, for you. Talk about personality types and how your personality type vibes with your wife, and maybe your personality type didn't vibe with maybe your ex-wife. Just want to kind of get people to understand like personality and the type of woman or type of options that you may have.
Okay. It's interesting that Andre talked about Scorpios. I'm a Scorpion, and so my personality is I'm very how can I say? I'm trying to word it in such a way that it can be relatable. I went through officer candidate school in the Marine Corps, and that kind of fit my personality. I'm probably more leadership oriented, at times overbearing and overpowering. So what my wife does is she softens me, right? So she gives me that other half, and a lot of it has to do with, like Andre said, trust, right? Because a lot of times my personality is such that I could have this hardcore outer casing, because I don't trust that someone would take care of that soft side that I have. And my wife does that. She takes care of that, where I don't have to worry that she's going to say something or do something to destroy me. She doesn't try to destroy me. She always builds me, right? And so she kind of levels me out. And so if we have a disagreement, of course, it can be elevated at times, And so we just need some time. And for me, I don't like to argue. I will just withdraw. But my wife will
That's
come and
her.
take me, but my wife will come and take me out of my cave, and we will have a discussion. Right. And so that's, it has rounded me. It has not only rounded me, it has grounded me, and it's helped me become, in essence, it helps me become a better person and become a better leader and a better man. And that's what my wife does for me.
That's what's up, man. Another super chat from Brother Victory, man. He said the Bible says a man who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord. Find a woman who raised to be a wife prior to marriage. Most westernized women are not raised to be wives. Let me touch on that real quick. Something my wife said, and because she's good in the home and things like that. And I was like, man, your mom raised you to be a wife. And she said no. She said my mom just instilled good values in us. She didn't teach me how to cook for a man. She didn't teach me how to clean for a man. She taught me how to cook and clean and do certain things so I could have value. And when she said that, as a Colombian woman, I want to say that being controlling, I've learned this, being controlling doesn't fly with a lot of Colombian women. They use the word el tigre. They don't need to be controlled because they are proud of how they were raised. So they're offended that you didn't give them an opportunity to show you that they can be a good woman. Let them show you. You don't have to get it out of them. They're gonna show you. They're gonna show respect. And so, as we're talking about type of personalities, like I said, I have a controlling personality by nature. I have a strong personality, which sometimes me and my wife have friction and bump heads sometimes just because of my personality. But she's one of the few women that can tolerate my personality. Colombian women can tolerate personalities too. They're not very weak. They don't give up on relationships, opposed to my experience in the United States. Women in the United States can be very sensitive. I could yell at my wife, or I could use force for my wife. She may get upset, but it's never to the point where she just want to leave and give up. So I just wanted to talk about that. And guys that have strong personalities or do want to be controlling, some of these Latin countries might not be for you, and some of you guys may already figure that out. So I don't want to stereotype areas, but maybe other regions of the world where you can be a little bit more, more aggressive or pushy or controlling may be more cultural for them. But as far as being submissive, they do their job. That's their form of submission, doing their part. But I just wanted to get that out. I want to get a response for Mr. Pro for you on this topic, as far as your personality type and why your personality type works with your situation, and basically would any personality type work with a woman like your wife, for example?
Okay, so my wife, she works with offshore companies here, and she runs the English department and assesses English, and she's in charge of hiring and firing and all that. So she's a professional, and in that world, and she's in charge in that world. But in our relationship, I'm a man, I have my personality. I won't say, it's a masculine personality. I mean, we are masculine, but the thing is, in these Latin countries, we can speak on the difference between masculine and feminine, because when she comes home, that's the most feminine woman I've ever seen. you know, her femininity.
Mm-hmm.
I was telling some people, I said, you know, I get all these kisses that I gotta act like I don't like, because if I started acting like I liked them, you know, I just wouldn't look right. You know what I'm saying? It's just, you know, it's you know, the amount of affection that I get, and you know, she just enjoys her femininity. She lives within her femininity. You know, we talk about, you know, femininity in these spaces, and you know, coming out to these countries, and you know, they're feminine, but you know, she breathes femininity, she walks femininity, she talks femininity. You know, me, you know, I walk and I talk masculinity. You know, but the interesting thing is, you know, when we come from the States, we are, and I said again, you know, we kind of traumatized from the interactions there. But when you come here, like Dre always says, you're expected to be the man. You're expected to, you know, exist in your masculinity. You know, my personality is different from each one of you brothers. And so, and my wife's personality is different from each one of you brothers' personalities. But her femininity and my masculinity click, you know, and that's why we here. You know, that's why we're able to, you know, sit here and talk this. Because I mean, between these 5 brothers, we kind of like cover the spectrum. Like we got everything covered, you know, for you know, for this international marriage thing, and you know, love abroad. But you know, this brother says, you know, No Excuse says that, you know, has a controlling personality, or he's strong. I'll just say a strong personality. You know, my personality is strong, you know, but that's where I come from, you know, but when you come to these countries, and you know, your strong personality in the States is different from your strong personality here, because your strong personality it's okay, but it comes with responsibilities. You know what I'm saying? It's you know, like, yeah, that's cool, you know what I'm saying, but you know, we need some more than just that strongness, you know what I'm saying? So it's I will say to brothers who haven't experienced it yet, when you get here, you know, get to these other countries, and you have, you know, you're able to exist in your masculinity.
Right.
Good answer.
It's not just an emotion. It's not just a feeling. It's a doing. You know what I mean? That needs to be followed behind it, and everything is, you know, everything is copacetic. You know, if you're with the right woman. So, you know, I was blessed to be with the right woman, and just like I said, her femininity is, you know, I can't even explain it. You know, it's daily. It's in everything. You know, between the, you know, the way she gives me the food, you know, the way she greets me in the morning, the way if she's waking me up, though she wakes me up, the way you know, she bathes me, you know, you know, the way you know, it's she exists in that, and I have no problem with it. I love it. I'm here because of it. I'm here for it. But when we come from the States, we have gone through a struggle to exist in our masculinity, you know, and so, you know, that's something that brothers will find that they may have to adjust to. But you know, as for me, you know, and mine, I always take it back to, we gotta choose right. You know, that's one thing I put on the man. You know, a brother could tell me the worst stories that he wants to. You could tell me a story about every chick in the Dominican Republic or Colombia, because all I hear about is Medellin and what's the other spot?
Cartagena.
Medellin and Cartagena. I don't hear nobody talk about Cali except Dre. And when Dre talk about it, he like, don't come here. This is the first Friday night I ain't see Dre with a drink in his hand. I ain't recognize you, bro. You had, you know, I ain't seen you casual like
agua
this.
now.
Like, I got ready. I got my drink ready. I know he's gonna ask me, you know, what I got tonight.
Oh, okay.
He's gonna ask me what I got tonight. You know what I'm saying? Come on, Dre. But you know, I'm just saying. this is the experience, and it's for the real men who want the real experience. The dudes who are complaining are the same dudes that are gonna complain everywhere. And as far as me and mine, thank God I was able to recognize, because the brother who doesn't recognize what's for him, woe is him. Because she'll pass you, just like opportunities, right? Don't opportunities pass every brother? There's no brother the opportunity ain't passed, but you ain't recognize it, or you wasn't ready for it.
Hey, let me say this real quick. Every Dominican woman that was of good quality, when we broke up, another man scooped her up, and she's married, and they're married. So
I've heard that too.
So if you would have passed up or messed up your situation, you who knows, you'll still be looking right now.
7 years to getting like this in the same place, same time. That's what I was saying. Like, brothers see me in the videos, like, man, you trying too hard. Hey, brothers see me clowning and acting, laughing and joking all the time in my videos, but they're like, bro, you don't even understand our journey. You know what I'm saying? We both here and we excited about finally being together. We went through this journey. We went through the sacrifice. We went through the hard times. We went through everything to get here. And you think we're not going to be laughing? You think I'm not going to have her laughing and joking and joyous and all that? Come on, brother. Get you one and you'll understand.
Correct.
Man, solo traveler, man. Your relationship dynamic, man, and how your personality meshes with your wife. And what type of personality maybe wouldn't mess with your wife?
I'm going to say this first. I'm going to say this. You know what? I've been trying to figure this out, Andre. I've been trying to make my wife a yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. I can't break her down. It ain't happening now. So, but to give you guys a little bit of history. So, for me, I'm very strong. My characteristics and so forth is very strong as a leader. I like things to be done a certain way and so forth. That's just how I am. I've always been this type of person. I've always been, the leadership position, whatever it comes down to work or just, management or just, having kids and so forth. So, and looking at the dynamic with my wife, hers, that ever since the age of 13, she's the oldest child. So she has always been the one to be in charge of the family, all the kids and so forth. So all her brothers, all her sibling brothers and sisters, they look at her as the second mother. So I had to learn, to understand the whole situation, how we would clash with that, because, I'm very like, hey, this is how it's going to be, it needs to be this way. I'll plan things out. And sometimes she's like, well, I don't know about that. I might want to, different way, so, so that's where it comes down to the fact that, once we understood each other, it kind of works out the fact that, she uses that ability to take care of the house here that is here. And for me, I just take care of the surrounding of everything of the family, such as the bills, such as, security with the family, doing things together as a whole family. So it kind of works out that, with her strong points, it actually works out for the family, for the house that is, and my strong points, it works out for the entire household that is. So that's the first thing. And with that, with her femininity, I love her femininity, of the stuff that she does. Just like what a lot of, just like Love Purpose and Passports was saying, who's saying how, serving me, giving my meals and so forth, making sure that the house is clean. I mean, for me, I love I love the days whenever she's playing her music, although some of it I don't like. I love reggaeton. That's me. I love reggaeton, but she likes some of that the so-called country music. But I know that whenever she's playing that, it's going down. She's about to start cleaning up the house, and, get things in order. So me, I actually enjoy. I learned to enjoy that, of her doing a lot of that stuff, and it compliments me, because the fact that I'm constantly always busy, for what I do, for work and so forth. As a senior network engineer, so I'm work long hours. and during that time, she's making sure everything is in order, you know, for when I get off and when I'm done, and then that's it. You know, the family is coming together. We're doing our things. Like usually tonight, usually do a game night or a family night with the kids, and you know, so it kind of works out that way. So, you know, all out just to say, our dynamics, we made it work. I mean, of course, we have our times, and when we, you know, we're saying, you know, hey, I don't agree with that. You know, she don't agree with this, and I don't agree with that. You know, I mean, it is what it is. You know, it's just for the moment. Afterwards, we just, you know, we let it go, and you know, we moving on and try to, you know, make things better to what it should be. So we work on that.
And I'm calling you talking about, hey, bro, my wife is getting on my nerves with this.
Yo, I be telling him times, we be having personal conversations. I be like, sometimes I'm like, yo, I be trying to tell my wife, I'm gonna send her back. I'm done. She ain't going nowhere. But so yo.
So this leads me to my next segue about what gets on your nerves. But let me answer some questions that was asked earlier real quick.
That's a good question.
Does your wife actually wear a wedding ring in Colombia? I'd be afraid they would be robbed.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. I got something that is. So for me, I actually purchased 2 rings for my wife. So I actually purchased the expensive one, and I also purchased like a cheap little $100 ring. And in the end, my wife, she ended up wearing both rings. She didn't give a care. So I'm like, what the hell? You know, the one ring was so that you didn't get jacked up for the other one. But one thing is that I noticed for Colombia, which is good, is that because of the type of ring that I bought my wife, I got her white gold. And they and with black diamonds. And they don't really know too much about that over there where she's at, in that area when she was over there in Medellin and so forth. So because they're used to that gold, you know, the gold color. So they really didn't mess with her whenever she had her wedding ring on and so forth. So that it worked out for us, you know, for that standpoint.
Let me answer this real quick, and I'm gonna pass it to Todd, then Dre, then Mr. Pro for you. Yeah, she wears a ring. She wears a ring, and sometimes I'd be nervous. I'd be like, you know, why don't you take it off when you go certain places? Because sometimes I take mine off in Colombia, you know. But one thing I admire about my wife, she never took off her ring. And it shows me how appreciative she is. Like, she never takes it off when she goes to the gym. Anywhere, like she always has it on. Even when we video chat, I always want to just, for my ego, I just like to see the ring on her finger, you know. And she always got it on. So, you know, I got to get insurance, but you know, I mean, you could get some type of insurance that will cover it. Anything you want to add, Todd, to that? Oh, you on mute, bro? You on mute?
Thank you. Like Solo Traveler, I got the white gold with the black diamond, but it was a 3-ring set. So what she'll do is she'll wear one of the 3, but she won't wear the one with the diamond. She'll wear the one that's a lot less, you know, gaudy. It's very obscure, and so she'll wear that. And then what's interesting is that when we're going out somewhere, like right now we're on vacation, so I'm gonna have to cut this a little bit short. Give you a couple of minutes. But she always wears her ring, and she'll always make sure that I have mine too. And one thing about Colombia that I really enjoy, that I like, is that if we're walking about, she grabs my hand and we're walking hand in hand. And you see a lot of couples that do that. And that wasn't something I was accustomed to, you know, being in the States and coming back. But that's just a way of showing affection, and I really, really appreciate that too. So.
Okay. Hey, with that 3-ring combo, hey, is it just like basically you have like 2 small little rings and you have the big ring in the middle? Is it something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got the same set for my wife. Same thing. So the side rings, they like, you know, black diamonds, while the big middle one is the white diamond, but it may have some like black diamonds on the side or so. Exactly. Yeah, that's tight. That's dope.
All right, what about you, brother Andre?
It's kind of funny. I did the white gold with white diamonds. So I felt just like the other guys did, that here in Colombia that they weren't up on the white gold. So they look at it like maybe silver or something that's not as, you know, valuable to gold. And here in Colombia, gold also has a spiritual significance as well. So that's why they're so into gold like that. But Andrea we purchased her a fake gold ring and a really inexpensive gold band. So she has a solid gold, 18 karat gold, just regular thin band. And she has a ring that when she wants to be Miss Fashion, which is most of the time, but that one's not real. That's the fake one. And like if we go into family events, that's when she'll pull out the gold one. Or like when you guys, the real one. Or like when you guys come to town, you may have your girl with you. She'll pull out the real one. But other than that, she spends more time just making sure I got mine on. like we go to the gym. Oh, you single today? Oh, because Colombians don't know sarcasm, so she's learning sarcasm from me. So I'm extremely sarcastic. She's like, oh, so we single today. So that's what we're doing. We ain't married. Ain't no love in the house or nothing. Just because I forget. You see what I'm saying, Ty? So you kind of like
that's what that way I see.
Right, so you kind of like slide the ring on. You're like, oh, okay, can I just stepped out the shower? Can I just slide the ring? Slide the ring on? And but for the and she doesn't say it like an insecure, jealous way. But it is a purpose behind it. It does show a solidification of the relationship. But I'm with you guys. But I don't, for the most part, my wife doesn't walk around all the time, everywhere with the ring. The other thing is, I feel more secure because we have our own truck, our own vehicle. So Andrea is jumping from point A to point B. She's not standing out there waiting for an Uber. She's not standing out there waiting for a taxi. So she's just walking out of Exeter, the grocery store, straight into the truck. So that makes me a little bit more comfortable in regards to somebody kind of like, let me get that ring type of thing.
Yep, I noticed they get got whenever they're waiting for Uber or for the taxi. Always getting got. Same thing with my mother-in-law. That's how she, get her phone stolen and so forth, get robbed because of that. But also I actually bought myself 2 rings too. Just because of the fact that I don't like being gaudy. So I actually got me a black ring that I ring every day. My wife hates it because she always want me to wear the flashy one. I'm like, no, I only wear that one for like special occasions.
I got the black rubber ring too, and Andrea doesn't like it.
Really?
I said, but this in the States, this is what we do. This is what we do. I said, because men lose rings. We don't want to lose it. Okay, so let us lose the rubber ring.
What about you, Mr. Pro, for you?
So, I appreciate all the brothers' stories, you know what I mean? But about being able to get the distraction rings, the other ones. But, my wife has been robbed twice.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? So, and, one before I knew her and one while I knew her, but I wasn't here. Pulled up on the side. She's we in the capital and she's from La Capitale. So when the motos pull up, that's what it is. And so with her it was like, just get the just the basic band, because if I give her a dummy ring or a ring that's looks like it might be the real thing, well, when they pull up, it's the real thing. My wife is fine, man. And then, she's fine in pictures. Then in video, she gets finer. But in real life, when, you got the walk and the talk attached to it and the mannerisms, it's a whole different ball game. Because my wife is like 5'10", and when she put the heels on, she jumps up there. And so when they come, they looking, she looks like the target. She looks like she has it, whether she has it or doesn't have it. So for us, she got the band, I got the band, and we rock it with the meaning. You know what I'm saying? We rock it with it because if we put something on it that looks like it, they gonna think it looks like it because she looks like it. I'm not a short brother neither. You know what I'm saying? I'm 6'2", and so we both walking and looking the part. Me, I come from where they do that, so I'm not overly concerned But her by herself, you know, when she's doing her thing, it's a whole different program. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we rocking with the basics and let the meaning stand out.
There you go. There you go.
I'm